The characters on Disneyland's It's a Small World ride come to life even when unplugged. Cast members often swear that they see the dolls blink or appear in different places than the day before. I don't want to believe this one to be true because that would be the creepiest possible outcome. Like, you've got the Tower of Terror, you've got the Haunted Mansion, you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, but like, just It's a Small World is just so much more like purely creepy than any of those could ever attempt to be because of those just teensy weensy little doll people. There's something wrong about it. It's uncanny valley nonsense. It's not fun in the way it should be, and it's not supposed to be scary, and somehow that lends to more creepiness kicking in. My goodness, do I hope this one's not real. Walt Disney's ghost still haunts his old apartment. I don't know if Walt Disney has a ghost. Didn't he get cryogenically frozen so he can be brought back to life in the future? Can you have a ghost if you choose to believe that someday your living body will walk among the living again? Makes you think, doesn't it? Walt Disney passed away on December 15th, 1966. Legend has it that he still haunts his former apartment above the firehouse on Main Street. One story says that Walt's ghost repeatedly turned off and on the apartment lights when an employee came in to clean and dust. Another version claims the cleaning lady heard a voice say, "Don't forget, I'm still here." Maybe the cryogenics didn't work out, and that's why he's floating around causing havoc in his old apartment. One reason there are so many Disneyland secrets is because employees aren't allowed to publicly complain about their jobs. That's why most of the information that's found on the internet is from anonymous employees. They can apparently get fired if they get caught speaking negatively about their jobs, and even if they hint that they play face characters at one of the parks on social media. Wow. I know that Disney's very protective about all their stuff, right? So I would assume there's a lot of legal frameworks in place to keep people from blabbing about their experience. It seems like the most wonderful place on earth, and I mean, that's how they want to advertise it, but I feel like the people that are working there work very, very hard. You gotta want to work there, you know? I feel like their jobs are not easy, and Disney definitely doesn't want that getting out. I'm not on contract, so I can speculate as much as I want. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your host, Keegan Hughes, and these are dark Disney secrets that will terrify you. Most things about Disney terrify me. I think they're too powerful these days. They own too much of the pop culture at large, and soon we'll all be intravenously injecting Disney Plus just to stay alive. But for now, we're gonna talk about these dark secrets and not my crazy ideas. Let's get going. Toy Story, we are the monsters. So this isn't so much a theory as a realization. From the perspective of the toys, humans are violent oppressors who take pleasure in the mistreatment of living beings who feel joy, sadness, relief, fear, anger, jealousy, and most of all, love. I like all the listed emotions there, that's important. As such, the toys, as much as humans, deserve to have complete control over their own lives, and yet they live in servitude to humans, gladly giving up any sense of control over their own lives in order to bring children joy. The humans may not be aware of what they're doing, but that doesn't make their actions any less horrific. The disturbing implications that come with this realization are nothing short of horrifying and essentially reverses everything you thought you knew about the films. This feels dramatic. This feels really dramatic. I think the person writing this is sobbing as they write it. They feel so bad about the toys. But is this the takeaway? The toys love being there. They get something extra special out of being in service to children and playing with them, right? And I don't think the humans are violent oppressors who take pleasure in the mistreatment of them. I think they're using toys in the way that toys were designed to be used. This just feels like something somebody made this realization at 3 in the morning, at the long end of a weird road trip where they had 2 mental breakdowns and ate only McDonald's. The seance book in Disney World's Haunted Mansion was originally a real 14th century book of witchcraft. Cast members had the hardest time keeping the book in the upright position. The table would often be turned over or the book would be somewhere else. They finally had to replace it. Wow, I mean, if it was a real magic book, then of course it would be causing problems, especially if it was being kept at Disneyland. I don't know too many witches that really, would love to deal with the magic of childhood as opposed to actual magic. But hey, if it was a real 14th century book of witchcraft, like that would probably be like a very valuable artifact, wouldn't you think? A book that old? It'd be very fragile too, one would think. So it flipping over desks and flying across the room probably wasn't too good for its spine. But if it worked, maybe the magic kept it together. Pet cemetery behind the haunted mansion. Cemeteries have a reputation for being haunted by ghosts. They are often dark, somber places, making them the perfect setting for a phantom or two. Yes, and they're also usually, full of dead bodies. Maybe that has something to do with the ghostliness. Park guests rarely saw the original cemetery created in the 1980s behind the haunted mansion. The small patch of lawn was home to just a few grave statues. It has grown in recent years now and includes the mansion's animal inhabitants as well as a gravestone for Mr. Toad. Okay, like I thought like they were actually like burying their pets back there, but this is just like to add to the aesthetic of the haunted mansion. They're saying, yes, there's also a pet cemetery so that all of our lovely ghosts can have some lovely pets to play with. And you know what? That's adorable. I love that. I think it's great that the ghosts also have ghost animals to hang out with. The statue of Cinderella you can find at every Disneyland theme park looks sad to adults, but from the point of a child is happily smiling. Okay, so it's like because she is a downcast view, the folks that are at her level see her as a downtrodden and distraught individual, but the children looking up at her can see that she's a little smile as she looks down at them. Hey guys, how you doing down there? That's what she says to the children, and then she says, kill your parents, and they say, okay, Cinderella. The ghost of a former employee haunts Disney World's Tower of Terror. The story goes like this. A cast member had a heart attack while loading guests onto the ride and died in the building. His spirit haunts the ride now. Platform D is the supposed spooky spot that current employees are scared of. See, I was kind of hoping that the story would be a little more gruesome than an unfortunate heart attack. I thought it would be like, there was a malfunction, or, they were there after hours, riding the ride solo or something, or maybe they were in the ride and not while loading somebody, but like, they got scared so bad by the ghastly figures and the drop that they died. But no, it's just, this poor person died at work and now they've decided to take up residence at the Tower of Terror. Apparently there might be remnants of real, actual skeletons in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. When the attraction was built, they didn't feel that the bones looked real enough, so they asked the UCLA Medical Center to borrow some real bones. Since then, most of them have been replaced with fakes, but a few real ones still might be in there. That's, you know what? If it lends to the authenticity, I'm all for it. I love this idea. There's creepypastas and urban legends and classic tales all about real human bodies being used in creepy attractions, and I love that idea. I just watched an episode of Superstore the other day where they found a dead guy in the wall on Halloween. It could happen, people. We live in a world where a lot of stuff happens and people just choose to ignore it. The names of the main characters in Frozen sound out the name of the author to the original story the movie is based on. Hans, Kristoff, Anna, and Sven. Hans Christian Andersen. You have to admit that's a bit creepy. Is it creepy? I don't know if I have to admit that. You can't tell me what to do, Disney facts. That's not creepy, that's just kind of funny. If you told me that and didn't tell me that I had to admit it was creepy, I wouldn't even think that it was a creepy fact. I would have been like, haha, neat. That's an interesting little tidbit that I'll tell somebody someday. And that is all the time we have for today, folks. Make sure you stick around for some bloopers. I'm sure there will be plenty. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Hope it's still focused. I'll use my little roller right here to make sure. God. Alrighty, dark Disney secrets that will terrify you. Pow. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Hello everybody and welcome back to your place for right. That's why most of the information that is found on the internet is from Anomalous. You can tell I've been doing a lot of SCP videos. Since then, most have been, it's like people that don't work for Disney. They're like, I want to get one of them there Disney bones and bring it home and put it on my mantle. I don't know what that accent was.